Welcome back to Lizzy's Gist World, where we bring you the hottest, most talked about stories, the kind of gist that keeps everyone talking and thinking long after the video ends. Today's discussion is one that has been flying across social media, one that has people whispering, debating, analyzing, and even picking sides. Something has clearly shifted, something has clearly changed, and if you have been paying attention, you will notice that the difference between before and now is not small at all. Everything used to feel smooth, everything used to feel coordinated, everything used to feel like it was moving in the right direction without stress. The support was loud, the love was visible, the growth was obvious, and the connection with fans felt natural and strong. But now, when you compare the past with the present, you can clearly see that something is different. The energy is not the same, the reactions are not the same, and even the results are not coming in the same way they used to. So the big question everyone is asking right now is simple but deep: what really changed? And even more importantly, can it be fixed? Can things go back to the way they were, or is this a new phase that will require a completely different approach? Now let us talk about what has been trending, because this is where everything becomes even more interesting. A particular story started flying around, first from another platform, then slowly making its way into conversations everywhere. At first, many people ignored it, thinking it was just another rumor, just another random discussion that would fade away quickly. But as more people started talking about it, it became clear that this was something bigger. According to what people have been saying, a movie was released, a project that had expectations, a project that people believed would perform well, especially considering the fan base and the level of visibility involved. Normally, when something like this drops, especially with a known face, the views start coming in quickly, the engagement rises, the comment section becomes active, and the numbers speak for themselves. But this time, that did not happen. Instead, the video struggled. In the first day, it did not reach the kind of numbers people expected. For many, even hitting 100,000 views in a day is considered a big achievement, something to be grateful for. But in this case, even that milestone seemed difficult to reach at first. It was not until the next day that the video managed to cross that mark, and even then, the excitement around it was not what people expected. This led to questions, serious questions. People started asking, how is it possible that someone with a visible fan base, someone who receives support online, someone whose name is always being mentioned, could release something and not get immediate strong engagement? And then came another twist. When people went back to check the video again, it was no longer there. Whether it was deleted, made private, or removed for another reason, nobody could say for sure. But the fact remained, it was gone. And that alone added more fuel to the conversation. Some people started suggesting that maybe the low performance influenced that decision. Others said it could be something else entirely. But one thing was clear: the situation had become a topic of discussion, and everyone had something to say. Now let us take a step back and look at this from a broader perspective, because this is not just about one video or one moment. This is about growth, connection, and understanding what truly matters in the journey of any public figure. Having fans is one thing, but maintaining that connection is another. People follow you for a reason. They see something in you, something that attracts them, something that makes them stay. It could be your personality, your talent, your consistency, or even the way you make them feel. But once that connection is not properly nurtured, things can start to shift. It is possible for someone to have a large following but still struggle with engagement. It is possible for people to like you but not actively support everything you do. And that is where understanding your audience becomes very important. What do they love about you? What made them start following you in the first place? What keeps them interested? and what might be pushing them away? These are questions that cannot be ignored. Sometimes, the issue is not even about talent. Sometimes, it is about alignment. If your audience loves you for one thing, but you focus more on something else, there will be a disconnect. And when that disconnect grows, the support naturally reduces. Another important thing to consider is consistency. People are more likely to support someone who shows up regularly, someone who keeps them engaged, someone who makes them feel included. Once that consistency is broken, their attention can shift elsewhere. And let us be honest, in today's world, there are so many options. People have countless choices when it comes to content, entertainment, and personalities to follow. So staying relevant requires effort, awareness, and adaptability. There is also the emotional aspect of it. When fans feel appreciated, when they feel seen, when they feel like they are part of the journey, they are more likely to show up and support. But when that feeling fades, the connection weakens. Now, let us talk about another angle that people have been discussing, the idea of giving and receiving energy. Many believe that what you put out is what comes back to you. If you spread positivity, you attract positivity. If you spread negativity, that same energy finds its way back. This perspective has made some people reflect on past actions, past statements, and past interactions. Could any of those things be affecting the present situation? It is a question that has been quietly sitting in the minds of many. But beyond all the speculation and discussion, there is still room for growth, there is still room for change, and there is still room for things to improve. Nothing is ever completely fixed in one position. Situations can evolve, strategies can change, and outcomes can be different with the right approach. One possible step forward is communication. Truly understanding what the audience wants, what they enjoy, and what they expect can make a big difference. This is not about changing who you are, but about aligning your strengths with what your supporters appreciate. Another step is observation. Paying attention to patterns, noticing what works and what does not, and being willing to adjust when necessary. And then there is patience. Growth is not always linear. There are moments of rise and moments of challenge. What matters is how those moments are handled. Now let us also acknowledge something important: people love a comeback story. People love to see someone rise again, to see someone overcome challenges, to see improvement and transformation. So even in situations like this, there is always an opportunity to turn things around. At the end of the day, this is not just about numbers or views. It is about connection, understanding, and direction. It is about knowing your place, knowing your value, and knowing how to move forward in a way that keeps you growing. And for everyone watching, there is also a lesson here. Appreciate what you have, understand your audience, stay consistent, and always be open to learning and improving. Because sometimes, what looks like a setback is actually a moment of reflection, a moment that pushes you to do better and become better. So as this story continues to unfold, one thing is certain: people will keep watching, people will keep talking, and people will keep analyzing every move. But within all of that, the real focus should be on growth, on improvement, and on building something that lasts. Thank you so much for staying with me on this episode of Lizzy's Gist World. If you enjoyed this gist, do not forget to subscribe, turn on your notifications, and be part of this growing community where we keep things real, engaging, and always interesting. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you believe this situation can be turned around, or do you think it reflects a deeper issue that needs more attention? Until next time, stay informed, stay positive, and keep enjoying the gist.